Welcome to the Portal Report, Portal Prospect Showcase. I'm George Michalowski. Today I bring on Eric Reed Jr., a 6'2 guard out of Southeast Missouri State. Eric's a first-team All-OVC selection this year, averaged over 16 points a game. He's a career 40% three-point shooter with 2 years of eligibility left, and he's in the portal now, hearing from a bunch of schools. So, Eric, I know you just got off the phone with a bunch of coaches. So how have you been? How's this portal experience been for you so far?
It's been, it's been exciting. As a guy who's been around the block, I kind of already got a feel for how coaches are going to come and how they're going to lay pitches out. So it's nothing new, but, it's always good to see that, higher schools want you, as opposed to, coming out of JUCO, you got mid majors and low majors. So it's been exciting.
Right. So even since your JUCO days, since last year, this season, you improved your rebound numbers, your assist numbers, your steals, your points per game, all that. What do you think this year, was different about your game than past years? What do you think you've improved on the most?
Honestly, just getting more of a feel. I have from JUCO, I had a pretty large jump from my first year to my second year. And I think all of what I needed to get better at was just having a better feel for the game, having a better feel for the college game, the D1 game. And, once you get that feel, it's almost like, nobody can stop you. And that's kind of what I've focused on as far as recent and off-season training, just getting better at the things like ball handling, shooting off the dribble, creating for others and things like that.
Got you. So, how would you describe, if you could compare it to an NBA player, another college player, that's great. But how would you describe your game, if you were a scout?
Well, that's a good question. If I was a scout, I probably, notice, my toughness. That's one thing that I'm proud of. I'd say, the ability to shoot. I think my playmaking ability is very underrated. It kind of gets looked over because of my shooting. And I'd say, I'm a pretty good ball defender. And, those are the highlights of my game.
So, you said you've been on the phone with coaches all day today. But since you entered the portal, let's hear them. What are all the schools that have reached out?
I'd say UMBC, Nicholls State, Mississippi State, Texas Southern, Western Kentucky, Tulsa, Wichita State, Colorado State, Cal Baptist University. I'm sure there's more. I just can't. Oh, University of Illinois. I think it's UIC, right?
UIC, yeah.
Yeah. Probably going to be a lot more today, I assume. But those are the ones that have been reaching out. The ones that are that I can tell are kind of really hard on me. I would say Mississippi State, Texas Southern, Western Kentucky, and Tulsa.
Got you. So, do you have any visits in the works yet, or is it still too early in the process?
I actually have a visit coming up soon to Mississippi State Thursday, and then depending on how that goes, I have another visit set up probably to go to Texas Southern, and then Western Kentucky. So,
got you. So, you're a Baton Rouge native. You're from the South. You've played Missouri, obviously. Is location a big deal? This time around, choosing a school, is that going to play a role in where you decide to go?
Nah. I've kind of, from going to JUCO, going to Big Springs, Texas, being 12 hours from home. Location doesn't really matter. It'd be a blessing that I would be able to, be closer to home. That way my parents would make a easier, safer trip to come see me play. But, location hasn't really been a big thing of mine. It doesn't really matter where you are. If you're good, you'll be seen regardless.
Got you. So last question here, we'll wrap things up, but I just wanted to ask, you're a first team all conference guy at the D1 level. What do you look at, what kind of opportunity does the transfer portal present for a guy like you that maybe gives you high major opportunities calling on the first day? What kind of opportunity does it give you?
It gives you a big opportunity. Even though I might, leave this conference, but the OVC offered a lot, for me, and they, put me on a pedestal to where I can, have the ability to get these bigger opportunities. And it goes hand in hand. Being a great player, you're gonna get looks professionally from other colleges, and so it's definitely it's helped me a lot.
Got you. Well, Eric, it was great having you on. Appreciate you joining the show, and for everyone else, thank you for tuning in.
Mm-hmm.